Welcome to Between the Lines, the show where we bring you high school athletes who have committed to continuing their athletic careers in college and talk to them about their experiences with both school and sports. I'm your host, Mackenzie Kubistek, alongside Marley Hutzbath. On our show today, we have senior Ella Bolva, who has committed to Big Ten School, Maryland.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Ella. Ella has been a large part of the Latrobe Girls High School team, and she's committed and signed to the University of Maryland to play soccer. She's here with us today to share both her experiences in school and soccer. Hi, Ella. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, with playing with Latrobe and at the Riverhounds too, how has that helped you progress as a player?
Definitely has developed me into the player I am with the training, but also the social aspect of it all, because having all my teammates and stuff, they've inspired me to become a better player, not just for myself, for them as well. So that's really helped me, and being in that environment with people that want to get better makes me want to get better as well.
What opportunities did playing for these teams help you with?
Definitely the Riverhounds aspect did help me get recruiting. There was a lot of college coaches that came to our games and stuff, and they all saw me play, so that kind of helped get me looked at, and that's how I found the University of Maryland from showcases I've been a part of.
So, do you remember what showcase they came and talked to you at?
It was a showcase last January. It was in Florida. It was one that we usually go to, and I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go at that point, but then after the showcase, they reached out to my coach and were saying how they were interested in me. So then I kind of just went from there.
So when they talked to you, did you go for a visit, or did you just go or did you just talk to them about committing to there?
Well, I went to a camp that January, but then we weren't allowed to directly speak till June 15th, but during all that time, I did, questionnaires through them, so they were technically, communicating with me, but, legally, I guess. So they kind of just got to know me from there, but when I was, able to talk to them, I kind of knew that's where I wanted to go. So I kind of just committed then.
Okay, so, were there, did you have any other options other than Maryland? What were your other top schools that you were looking at, too, at the same time?
Well, there was, a lot of other schools, but, I feel they weren't as high of an interest as Maryland had in me, and I kind of knew, so kind of a bad thing. I kind of shut out a lot of other schools, but that was just kind of me naturally going to what I wanted and holding high expectations. So I talked to other schools, but none of them kind of were Maryland.
So you are joining them next year with playing with them. Do you think you'll have playing time on the field as a freshman?
I hope so. I mean, my coach talks really highly of me and the impact that I'm going to make. So I'm hoping that I'll get some playing time next year.
When did you know going D1 was something you wanted to work towards?
I think since I was younger, I definitely knew I wanted to play college soccer, but when you're young, you kind of don't really know what that is. It's you're kind of just playing for fun, but I'd say my freshman year, I kind of just really knew I wanted to go to the highest level, because I'd been working so hard. I've been playing higher levels, and I've seen older girls like me doing the same. So I thought that's a goal that I wanted to set for myself. So I kind of just have worked to it since then, and that's kind of how I got there.
What other schools were you looking at to recruit there?
I talked to some other schools. I talked to Bowling Green, actually, Yale, UNC Charlotte.
Yale.
Stop. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. What even else? Oh, Xavier. Stop! I don't remember. Who even else? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I know this past year has been a very mentally draining year for you with you getting injured. How did that affect you, like, personally with transition, like, getting hurt right after your club season and trying to transition into high school?
It was definitely like really upsetting because I knew I wanted to like play high school soccer like the last year with like all my friends. And it was just like really sad because I know like I'm never going to have that opportunity again. And it was just hard for me to like watch them do something that like I like wanted to do. Like I would do anything to do that. And it kind of just showed me like how much I love the sport and how much people need to appreciate it more and how much like people take for granted whenever they get to like step out and play, whenever like people like me would like die to do that.
Yeah. So I know that during our season, you had the opportunity to go and tour the Steelers training facilities with Cam Hayward and a few other seniors who lost their season due to injury. How was that?
Oh, it was such a cool experience. We went and I got to meet Cam and a few other players, but that's when Cam was dealing with the injury himself, so he kind of knew how I was feeling and how like these other players were feeling. And it was just cool to like talk to other people that were experiencing the same thing as me, so we could relate and kind of figure out ways to get through it and know that I'm not alone.
So, like, when you were making your decision and you said you shut out a lot of schools with Maryland being your top school in mind, what key things, like both athletically but also academically, did Maryland offer for you to be like, that's where I want to go?
I think definitely the coaches had like the biggest impact on me. I think the most important thing is that they didn't just look at me as a player myself. They looked at me like as a person and how like I would adjust to their program and how I would be with their team and how I would make it better from that standpoint. And I thought that was really important because I feel like a lot of schools just look at players just their playing ability and don't actually look at you to what like your mental and like side is going to bring to the program. And I just thought that was like really like rare, and I've never really seen that from anyone before, and I thought that's kind of what I want because I think it's hard whenever they only care about you when you play and not actually how you are.
Into the school part.
So moving into like the school part of Maryland, what do you plan on majoring in, like being a student athlete?
I applied for kinesiology, which is like the study of like body movement and stuff. I'm thinking about being a physical therapist, but I don't know. I'm still kind of looking into some things, so.
Being a student athlete, how did you like keep your grades up?
It's definitely been a lot of work, but you just have to use all the free time you have because you have a lot of practices and stuff like that, so you have to squeeze it in if that means like doing homework in the car or staying up late at night. You always just kind of have to sacrifice for school, I guess.
Go ahead, Mac.
So like when you figured out like you want to do kinesiology, was that recent or was that like something you've wanted to do?
It was kind of recent because I've been kind of researching some other things I want to do, and I feel like my mind always changes. Like every week I kind of want to do something different. So it was kind of a recent thing, but now I'm kind of thinking about how I don't want to do it anymore.
So when you decided that, like, did your physical therapist, like, with the one you have now with your ACL, did he have an effect on, like, you wanting to do that?
I'd say definitely because I, like, really enjoy going to physical therapy because I feel like it's really helpful that he's, like, making me better, and I want to, like, help people do that as well. So he kind of inspired me to want to do that myself, but looking kind of more into it, I don't know if I want to deal with the old people.
There are a lot of old people
I
in
know.
physical therapy.
I know.
I don't know what to say. Which skills have you like learned throughout high school that will help you transition to like high school to college?
I definitely think like time management for sure because I feel like I don't really like plan my days out well, like whether it's like going to soccer practice, like working out, doing schoolwork, I kind of just scramble and do everything. But I feel like figuring that all now is all gonna help whenever I get to college and I have a lot of things to do.
Are you nervous for college?
I mean, yeah, but I'm also excited because I feel like I've been looking forward to it for a really long time now.
So I know you are in running progress, like you can run. So do you have an upcoming cup season? Like, are you thinking about playing this cup season?
I'm sure I'll be cleared by like probably like February, but I don't think I'm gonna play until my 9-month mark, which is in April, because it's like a 7% more chance of me, like something like high percentage of me like tearing it again if I go back like earlier than that. So I'm not really in a rush to play the whole season, but I'm hoping like if I start playing by April, I'll at least get like 10 games in, which is like pretty good for like where I'm at now. But I definitely will be a part of the club season, and I'll probably be practicing with them throughout most of the season since that like the progress I am now. But I mean, I'm not rushing, so I'm kind of just getting what I can take.
Yeah. Let's see here. So I know you are in like advanced level classes, and I'm pretty sure you are in the National Honor Society. So what are like those level classes, or do you feel like those are going to help you in college when you get there?
I think so for sure. I feel like, especially this year, AP Calc has been so hard, and I've spent like so many hours on that. It's like one of the first classes like I go into tests feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm actually going to do good. So it kind of like teaches me like you kind of just have to take risks and study as hard as you can, no matter the outcome.
And then one last thing is like when you go into play with the girls at Maryland, do you like when you were at that camp and you were talking to the players there, did you feel like you fit in, like a good connection you had with them?
I definitely think so. Like we definitely hit it off really well. I mean, I obviously don't really know them too much personally, but they all seem to have like the same kind of like mind as me, like personality wise. Like they have the same goals, and that's kind of who you want to surround yourself with.
Well, Ella, it was so nice talking to you today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck in college.